Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Jaboreli, Jaboreli.com. Just a bunch of referral links. So this is kind of an update video across the board. Everything seems to be going fairly well. Minor changes to a couple of websites, but this is going to be a group update. Just got lots of things going on and lots of updates to bring you. Just want to remind you that I appreciate your comments. There's been a lot of comments lately, and I've been very grateful for that. Thank you for making such comments, and thank you for liking my videos. I really appreciate that. Also, we're still doing the giveaway. Hopefully that will be soon. Been making great progress. I really appreciate the subs, guys. Thanks a lot. Yes, the giveaway will be coming up. I hope it will be before the end of June. If it does, we're looking forward to that. I may even up the total giveaway. More than 100,000, but it will be at least 100,000 as of right now. I am absolutely certain it can be at least 100,000 Satoshis. So get ready for that. Tell your friends to check out the site. 500 subs, we're going for it. All right, let's get to the business. So Speedbit changed. They dropped their investment ratings in half. But the way they've worded it is that they've double the amount of time it makes to make that same amount of money. Now it's still more than both Fundamentally Global and Passive Expert, but it's now half as much as it was before. It was 6%, now it's 3% per day. That's still pretty high, and that's what this chart in front of you shows. I originally had it, I just modified this to go from 17 days to 34 days. And it's not exactly 34 days, it's like 33 1/3. But it's 800 hours instead of 400 hours. So yes, it'll still work, but it's just going to take longer. And that's not terrible. So it doubles every month instead of every half of a month, or slightly more than a month. Months aren't 34 days. But yeah, so if you went in at 0.01, it would take you a month to get to 0.02. But so I changed my bigger chart down here. If you guys want to check this out, it's in the description. But previously it went to 17 days right here, and now I've just pushed it out to 34 days. But it still follows the same thing. Now they also did an ad thing, and I had people in my comment section request that I make another video dedicated to how to do the ads. I haven't done the ads yet. I didn't get into this for ads, but at the request of my subscribers, I will consider it, and it will most likely be similar, and I'll get to that a little bit later in the video regarding the way that Passive Expert deals with ads and other sites like it. You can basically, in the very, very simplest terms, put in a website that you want, and every single time they run an ad, like either at the start of their website or wherever it is they run ads, they'll just take your it'll take whatever URL or whatever domain you put in there and run the ad on that. So that's the benefit, is you get this extra thing. So let's say you just want it to point back to your referral link. That's one way you could do it. You're like, oh well, I can get more referrals by using this ad. If people see this ad at the time it runs for me, it'll be sponsored by me, and then of course I'll get that revenue for the referral. That's one way of doing it if you're gonna use that kind of thing at all. But I'm not going to go any further than that. I just want to make a point here that because Speedbit has changed, it's now half as much. I have no idea when they're going to change again, but they started roughly 60 days ago, so they've done one iteration, and maybe another 60 days they'll cut it in half again. So I would say that if you want to get 3%, get in now. Like I said, don't put in core money. Don't put in like the money you need to run your life. This is play money only. If you've got $50 US to spare, okay. If you've got $2,500 US dollars to spare, okay. But don't put in your core money. Please don't do that. This is really just for fun. And yes, of course, making money is fun. So, anyways, let me get to the next one. I'm making. Well, I guess I'm showing this to you. My network with CryptoTab. I did my first cash out from my primary. It's not quite this much, and it does take a little bit longer. For some reason, the withdrawal from CryptoTab is not instantaneous. They make a request, and then about 24 hours later, then they send the money to you. So you make the request, and then wait a day, and then they send the money. And of course, with Bitcoin, it takes more than an hour, roughly, for that transaction to take place. So I have confirmed that they've made the request. I have to wait a full day for that request to be completed, and it's already been more than almost a day, so we'll see when that actually gets done. I will be doing a live request out of this account. This is the one that's my my miner, the big miner that's running the Core i9 6700. It's almost made up the money, and I've only been doing it for 10 days, so I'm really impressed. And I hope you guys check this out from the other videos I made regarding CryptoTab. Right here, I don't know if you can see it or if you can zoom in or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do it because it's a remote system. I've made, according to the US dollar amount down here, 20.37, but I mean, you can see the number right here. It's 212,890 Satoshis in 10 days. That is really good. Now, of course, that is dependent on the fact that I'm using a pretty fast processor, and I have got another one I'll be setting up probably at the end of the week, and we'll see how fast that one is. I'm expecting that to be 5 times faster, but we'll have to wait until I get all the parts together. But yeah, so it's doing very well, and I will soon be in the black, which means making more money than it cost me to do this within a few days. So once I hit that number, which as you can see will be soon, of course it depends on when Bitcoin goes, you know, Bitcoin's close to 10,000, so it could be soon. But that's not really the point. The point is, once I get to meeting the cost, I will withdraw that, and then everything after that will be, you know, cream. As it was cream meaning costs that I've already paid for. No, it's free money. That's what it is. Sorry to be confusing with English colloquial terms. Let's see, the next thing here is Final Minty. Okay, so my Final Minty, I've been doing this. Let me just show you what's been going on. Yep, I know I've been highly critical of this company, but honestly, compared to the costs of other things, 1% per day is pretty reasonable. We've already seen Speedbit try to do 6% per day. That didn't work for very long. They're down to 3% per day, which is still more than Final Minty Global offers, but it's probably more reasonably easy to do than Speedbit's offer. And the last one I'll have, which is actually slightly less than this, isn't making me very much at all, but it is consistent. I appreciate that. So this will end in about 3 hours, and my take on that will be whatever. Let's figure it out here. I'll do the quick math. 0.013897 times 1.07. So what is that times the current price of Bitcoin, which is like 9,600, 142. So I started with about 100 US dollars. It's actually more like 110. But like I said, the price of Bitcoin changes constantly, so I have no idea what it actually was. But you know, this is a month's worth, and they are promising literally 7% per week. And it's not compounded. I mean, you can compound it, so it's more like 29%. So yeah, it's consistent. It's definitely working. I think if you've ever watched Whale Miner, as a YouTuber, then you can probably see that he's got a lot more, but he also put in a lot more to start with, and he also has a lot more people, you know, visiting his referral link. So he's been cashing out, and you can definitely see that it's making money there. Like he's above a Bitcoin the last time I checked, so it's working. And then finally here we have passive. Oh, they're showing me an ad. Let's go back to the. All right, so I started with 10, just like I did with Speedbit. I'll get to that in a second. And because theirs is, let's look at here in the ad packs, daily cash back tends to be somewhere between 0.7 and 0.8% per day. So I've been doing this for a month. Let's go back to the beginning here. Yeah, started on the 8th of May, and it is currently the 3rd of June, so almost a month. I'm really close to 25%. They promise you 25% in a month. That's, like I said, a little bit less than 1% per day, and you can see here it's 0.7, 0.8, 0.7, 0.8. So definitely it's less than Final Minty Global is, and it takes a month to pay out, whereas Final Minty pays every week, or I mean, depending on the plan, it can be up to a month. But they pay every single week, and that's 1%. These guys pay between 0.5 and 1%. So the likelihood is theirs is easier to handle. Whatever they're doing in the background is easier for them to deliver on. So it's certainly less, but then if you compare it to things like, I think I've said this before, BlockFi. BlockFi's maximum level is 8.6 annually, 8.6% annually, which if you break that out into a monthly amount, you're only going to be getting, let's see here, 8.6 divided by 12, it's like 0.7% per month, whereas Passive Expert doing 0.7, 0.8% per day. Yeah, 30 times as much. It's much, much better in that sense. So it's something I would say is a better thing to go with if you're looking for a faster return. I mean, it would take years to get this kind of return on investment with any other investment type, including those normalized crypto ones, like even with what's it called, staking on Tezos coin or Cosmos coin. The highest I've ever seen staking with is 10%. That's still annually. These guys are doing hundreds of percent annually. So if you have the money to spare, like I said, don't take your core money. Never take your core money. You need that to live on. Only money you can spare. If you can spare what I consider to be lunch, that might just be it where I live in California, because it's like $10 easily for lunch here. But I think I could go without lunch for one day and invest that into this, and not feel like I'm losing anything. So if you have $1, $5, $10, $100, and you can spare that without feeling like you're going to be hurt by it, then that's an amount I would encourage you to invest in these programs. Like I said, if you lose it, you're not worried. But the thing I'm trying to get at here is, like with Speedbit, which I might as well just go to here. You guys saw my cash out, right? I mean, if you didn't, I can link to it. I invested roughly $10 US, and got out my original investment minus the fees. So I had to make it all the way to the original investment plus the fee cost, and then I cashed out. And now everything that I'm making is not much here, $1.64 US, but this is free money. I've already gotten my original investment out. So now whatever it makes from now on, if I lose it, I don't care. I've paid for the cost. So with Passive Expert and with Fundamental Global, that takes a little bit longer. Fundamental Global's, at their best rate, which I think is 108.6%, I think, or maybe it's 108. But the point is, if you take that out to the 100% mark, how long will it take you to get 100%? Let's see here, 100 divided by 8, 12 weeks, basically a quarter. So 12, 13 weeks will take you to get your original investment completely back, and then you've basically doubled your investment by that point. So the nice thing about Fundamental is they give you your original investment back every single time. So you're going to get it back immediately, every week. But with Passive Expert, it's going to take 4 months. I know I don't have a chart for that, but I should make one, because it's 25% per month. So I guess if you went for a year, you'd be getting 300% annually. I think it's a little bit less than that, but it's basically, let's say, I'll do the calculator here again, 0.7 times 365, 255% annually. So it's less than Fundamental and of course Speedbit. If we're going to go by rates here, this is the least, this is the second, and this is the most. 3%, 1%, a little bit less than 1%. But it's still, like I said, way more than traditional financing goes. But it is a high risk, high yield proposal. So anyways, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that I'm definitely showing change. Yes, these guys have gone down, but they're still paying. These guys are the same as they've ever been, and they're still paying. And Passive Expert is still paying, even though it's a lot less than the other two. You probably could say, in a sense, it's slightly more reliable because it's a lower amount. But in general, like I said, I put in roughly I put in 10 here, put in about 110 here, and put 10 here. I've gotten my investment out of here, so I can allowed to reinvest it somewhere else. And then this one comes out every week, but it takes 2 weeks to pull the original full investment out. And then these guys, like I said, it's going to take a lot longer to actually get my total investment out. But it's still working. So anyways, there's a lot of different things going on here. Like I said, I'm going to make a video on the pull of this one, and that'll be here. But hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have that that new system set up so we can actually see a much higher mining rate. I did have a question. Somebody said, how do I get the cloud miner to show up? Let's go into that real quick here. This little thing, the cloud boost. So I don't have a definitive absolute answer on how this is supposed to work, but my results were I started mining with no cloud boost. It wasn't even showing. After about a week, it suddenly showed up. Now, I will say that I think that had to do with the fact that I signed up my mobile phone and connected my account. So I have my Jaboreli account connected to this browser, and I signed up on my Android phone and connected it there too. And then when I came back to this, the cloud boost had shown up. Now that, like I said, I don't have a guaranteed way, and their FAQ, their fact page, does not show that. That's frequently asked questions. Does not show this will be guaranteed if you do that. But because they want you to use Cloud Boost on your phone, if your phone and your desktop or laptop browser are connected together, then you should see both on each one. You should see definitely on the phone, but likely on the desktop. Like I said, in the past, in my other videos, the phone boost, the cloud phone boost, isn't really worth it unless your phone is incredibly powerful. But even then, you're probably not going to make the money because you're not going to sacrifice your phone. But the point is, it's a permanent thing. You get absolutely, you pay that one-time fee. It's one time, and then it's forever. So if you end up using it for a full year, you probably make your money back on it, even if it's a slow phone like 30 hash per second. But the Cloud Boost function for your desktop and laptop, because they're much more powerful systems, is going to be a monthly fee. And if you've seen this, let's go into it really quickly. You know, the 10x here on a 1, which I've already paid for on one of these, it's $22 US. For 3 or 5 systems, if you have that many to do, it's going to be cheaper per system going forward, but you need to have a whole lot of powerful systems to help you do that. And then with the Cloud Boost thing, it has no monthly rate. It doesn't say per month, it just says a flat fee, that's it, and then you have to pay for it ever again. But like I said in those videos, if you want to watch, I'll put the link up. It's only practical after a really long period of time. You know, they're not here to just give you money, they're here to help you make money. So anyways, that's all I've got to say about these systems for now. I think that we'll give you another update in a week, and like I said, I'm going to make another couple videos, one for the payout for this system. I read my heavy processor, and then an update on, well, I'll get to it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like I said, we still have the giveaway, the 500 sub giveaway coming up. Once we reach that, we'll have everybody who's subscribed. I'll make sure that you're subscribed to the channel if you want to be involved in that. I've already had some people send me their Bitcoin address. I appreciate that you're that enthusiastic, but you need to sub to the channel for that to work. If it's not in my list of subs, I'm not going to put you in the pool because you're not on it. But yeah, if you like the video, thumbs up, thank you. Please comment if you have any comments. If you said you don't understand something or you appreciate, I appreciate all the appreciation. But I love answering questions too when I can, and I will of course make videos in some cases if I get a lot of questions on it, or even if I get just one. I still appreciate the comments. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.